Look a mad Port Authority with the haze. Uptown Piff token sour for escape. Niggas do bad, then they wanna blow their brains. When I do bad,
Hi, my name is Max Myers, and I am here for Polymorph Magazine. First and foremost, who are you and where are we?
Yo, it's Adam Sandler. We at the Academy Records.
Not long ago, you were on a nationwide tour with the one and only Newport Lord himself, Lord Sco. How was that experience? What did you get up to? What things did you see across this crazy country?
America is shit, bro. It's insane. Wow. Tour with Lord Sco was really fun. He is genuinely one of the most dopest, like, charismatic, super hyper, like, nonchalant individuals I've probably ever spent back to back on the road with before. We saw a lot. We went through, about like 9 cities. It was, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Different demographics of people. Honestly, it was very memorable. You know what I mean? I think it's nothing better than hitting a voyage in a car with a few of the boys and playing for some people,
Fun.
getting love and reactions in all different ways. And I think that's special. And the moments in between, and outside, and even post, like, all that is it's like a movie.
Love that.
Yeah.
I know that you are like friends and you get us to some antics and shit. And,
Yes, sir.
I know you went and saw Blue Slide Park.
Yes,
and,
sir.
You were outside.
Oh yeah. No, we stopped by Blue Side Park. RP Mac Miller. We was in Grand Rapids. He was out there. Doing the thrifts. In Chicago. Connecting with guys like Kai Crusade. That was actually in Grand Rapids. But in Chicago, it's happening with homies like Taylor Bennett and shit, and Black
shit.
Sam, and like Femdot and shit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. So it was all love. LA. Same thing. You know what I mean? Going to link the homies out there and stuff like that. I think the whole thing is it's a momentous journey, and it's all about just embracing your community no matter where it's at. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Okay. Sick. Very cool. We're currently in Manhattan, not far from 42nd Street.
Oh yeah. Come
and
on.
your new single, 42nd Street, for your 4th album,
Yes, sir.
Driving Blind, comes out on July 25th.
Yes,
Anything
sir.
you want to disclose to the good people of Polymorph Magazine?
Yeah, man. 42nd. Go check that out. July 25th with the Newport Lord. Uptown shit. Y'all know what the vibes is, man. Produced by the one and only Plain Pat. What up? You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we got an album. I'm not going to give too much on it, though. We are starting rollout. Super excited. There's some of your favorite rappers on it. We got some cool activations, some cool merch. You know what I mean? It's we just driving blind, man.
Interesting. Speaking of this new album, how did the Plain Pat connection happen? Where in the world were you? How did the mysteries and magics of the world come together to cause this connection?
Man, I've always known about Plain Pat through all the Kid Cudi records and a lot of the Kanye records like Monster and even some Drake records. Fun fact, I did not know he produced Swank Sinatra with Capital Steez, Joey Badass, and Dime a Dozen. So,
wow.
that was a super crazy thing that made me even more excited when we linked up. That really came through my guy James Burns over at Brewery Studios, owned by Dr. Genius, who's a fellow collaborator of Plain Pat. This was 2K24, top of January, and Burns just sends me a text yo, Plain Pat wants to work with us. And this is kind of when I started, right off Room 44, and that's kind of how we got looped in, and then we met at the studio, and from there everything led to here.
It just sort of took off from there?
Yeah, we started an LP. We started getting different artists, around the project. We got different landscape, a different, business model, just the whole entire, environment shift. It was really cool. Plain Pat's a legend. He shows me a lot of love. It was super cool to watch him and Cuddy vibe at like Fashion Week last year around like October, and like he was DJing an event, and like Cuddy just walked in, and like seeing those two like hug each other, and like it was super dope, man. Like that shit was so cool. Like we was mega young when those guys were starting to roll out. I even remember being as young as like probably 6, 7, looking at my older cousin bumping the Can't Tell Me Nothing mixtape, by Ye. That was the promo for that whole graduation tape that dropped and shit, and like so it's cool, man. It's cool. It's all, everything come full circle, man. God bless.
That's great. Wow. What a wonderful story. That's just like, well, that's the thing. You bring like such a lovely energy to the room. So like, you bring that sort of energy, you get that kind of energy back, I guess. Yeah,
man. I mean, my theory is, what you input in this world is your outputs. It's very simple as that. 1 + 1 is 2. What you give, you get. Life is a trade, bro.
That's nice. Moving on, I hear that your grandfather was a pretty cool musician.
Yeah.
Just like yourself.
Yes.
How would you describe the type of music that he made, and do you think that it influences what you've made?
Definitely. I mean, my grandfather, he played the congas. We're Puerto Rican, we're Bori.
Okay.
So, it runs in my bloodline to always, touch an instrument or, hear sound and just have like an attunement to it and be like, whoa, what's that?
Very
so,
cool.
My grandfather was a part of a band called the Savannah Band throughout like the 70s and the 80s.
Cool.
And, he roamed around with like the brothers, over there, and they kind of did their thing all the way throughout the Bronx and the city and stuff, so that's kind of like, that was stuff, as I got older, I was lore that, I caught up onto myself. And, there's some people that have sampled, their music time to time and shit like that. So, shouts my grandpops, he's not here with us physically, but, lives in the ethers forever, man.
Love that.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tom, your work is often riddled with film and TV references. Did you grow up around a lot of TV or DVDs and movies?
Yo, yeah, actually. My mom kept the VCR TV up until the time I was like 15 as like the main TV in the living room. So like while everybody was like getting all these wild flat screens and like, now like the smart apps fuck cable at this point, you know what I mean? I would still like sometimes load up I don't know, fucking like Shark Tale maybe, or like
classic,
or like I'll throw on some fucking like Incredibles.
Shout out
like,
Jack Black, shout out Will Smith.
Man. I'm a big fan of movies and film. Like I be forgetting shit. So like if you're about to ask me like what's all my favorite movies and shit, please be cautious. I have to think. But yeah, I love.
I know you love your Star Wars references. I know you love your Naruto references.
Yes, sir.
And like your, yes, exactly, your Harry Potter references.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, maybe a little later we'll look around a bit.
Yeah.
For now, as you can see, if we look around a bit, Academy Records not only features some wonderful and historic music from all of time, but also some many years of film and TV history.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, I love it.
Yes, so we'll definitely have to take a look around and see if we can find anything that's influenced you over the years.
Please, thank you.
Yes, of course. I'm gonna try and redefine and lead the blind with it. A quote from your song "Who," off of your collab album Cocotazo.
Yes, sir.
Any reflections on working with Grammy Award-winning producer Stoic on this project that is now over 1 year old?
Yeah. Wow. Damn. You're a good one for that. That's fire. That's fire. Yo. I like that. Stoic is the guy. I mean, he's the YouTube guy. He's the Doechii dude, that got his beat,
He's what I mean? He's the Doechii dude.
Like, but more than that, he's a notable producer from Staten Island that is a big fan and lover of not just music, but specifically hip hop. And that's someone that I think when I got in with him, it was really it was like, I'm not gonna front, bro. It was mad genuine. Like it
That's
was
great.
super. It was, you know, when I met him and stuff. I met him through an old friend. Rest in peace to beautiful individual Chelsea Reject. She was a very close friend. You know, for a long period.
Rest in peace.
You know, throughout my career. At some point, she had introduced me to Stoic, and that's kind of like how I got in the mix. And you know, from there we made Coco. Man, that was funny. Fun fact: when I made that project with Stoic, I also got in with Plain Pat at the same time. So I was working with both of them adjacently. Just like one day with Stowe, then 2 days later with Pat. The next week with Stowe, a couple days later with Pat. So it was it's crazy, man. It was a crazy creative period.
Cool.
Yeah, Stoic. That's the guy. Be good.
Damn. So did you know you would be leading the blind like that early, or like you'd be driving blind essentially that early?
You know, that's crazy, man. Damn. Nah, I didn't, bro. Actually, I didn't. I think when you're true to, I think it's not about being new to this. It's about being true to this. You know what I mean? And I feel like life follows through that in many different ways. So, shouts to, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. In our interview with the one and only Skirt Cobain, Lord Sco himself,
Yes, sir.
he gave us his perspective on the classic James Burns Firestarter story of how he may have perhaps scored that beat. Would you perhaps give us your perspective?
Yo, number one shout out United Palace. Great rap record, super dope. Yeah, man. James Burns and I had worked on Firestarter. That was like probably 2022. Over at Brewery. Remember when I made it? It was supposed to go on Room 44, and then Skull was in the crib one day and we was just like smoking, just like playing records. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" And he was like, "Yo, bro, you know I need you for the tape, bro. Yo, like, what's good? Can I please have this song, bro?" Like, and I was like, "Nah, you dead ass, twin." And he's like, "Bro, please." And I knew at the time it would probably benefit him, honestly, way more than me, to have that song, like, out, just like where things were at the time. But like, I also feel like, you know, it was, you know, he acts genuinely. You know what I mean? He wasn't on no over persistent shit. But there was a point I definitely slacked on communication because I was thinking about it for a second. He was like, "Yo, what's good?" Shout out Skull. I mean, shout out Burns for, you know, being down in that process to like kind of, you know, share the song with bro for his LP. I mean, it came out super dope.
Right.
The Palace is a classic, you know, and we both from the Heights, man. It's my bro. Firestarter all day.
There you go. You spoke to me about the change in your business model.
Yeah.
How would you be able to elaborate on that if you think you could?
No, I mean, every once in a while an artist always you know, I've been grinding independent, you know, without a partner with the music for like a long time. Just kind of like throwing out the records. You know, you'll go through your general distribution, whether it's DistroKid or CD Baby or TuneCore, wherever the fuck it is. Though, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, you're working your catalog and you're working your system as best as possible, though what happens is you begin to elevate in terms of optics and just like landscape, bro. So it's kind of no different than like, you know, even like with a podcast, you know what I mean, you guys kind of run through, you know, similar channels, and then there's just like that one, you know, whether it's an investor or it's maybe like a bigger brand that may want the sponsor to bridge, you know, the visibility, or just partner, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that stuff is essentially creates a whole new just like sighting for like the things you have to do, you know, how are we making this release, you know, as impactful as we can? What are the motifs, you know, what does the audience look like, you know, all those things, you know. I think that's, you know, for an artist, a lot of that stuff, you know, takes a new step when you're like maybe signing with a label, or you're maybe doing, you know, maybe like a pub or whatever it is, you know what I mean? You know, there's always gonna hit a point where you have to upgrade the playing field, and that's just because you're growing. And, you know, some people are okay with never really taking those kind of opportunities. But me, we work in a field where you know what I mean? You know, you got to get yours, you know what I mean? So, Yeah, man. And I'm super excited. It's all, a dope period. And I would say doing this about 8 to almost 9 years to see that I'm just getting started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. You are known for your uncharted levels of motion, dedication, and work ethic.
I be in the walls, yeah.
Photos.
This might not even be me right now.
There are photos of you producing beats on the train, in taxi cabs.
Damn.
Just like in random spots all over the city.
Yeah.
Yes, amongst all other sorts of crazy ass locations.
Right.
I feel like everywhere I go, I happen to see you, if not one of your many, many like random extra clones. What drives this level of drive in you?
Fucking crazy, dude. I'm a psycho. I love my dreams. I'm trying to make my shit like as real as possible, and you have to apply every force of your body and every crevice of your being. There is no way to make this possibly happen by the brick by brick method. Is the only sustainable and the most focused and the most promised way to actually seeing any fruition in anything. And for that, you need to show up every day. There's no excuse.
There you go. Beautifully said. Last question. What lies in the future of Driving Blind and Life of Tom?
Album coming soon, motherfuckers. Yes, there we go. Woo!
There
Yes,
you go.
album is
There
coming
you
soon,
go.
man. Yeah, I'm announcing it here first. Driving Blind is the album. It is coming out fall. I will not give you all the date,
Ooh.
but I will say, yes, we do. It is, wow. I mean, expect fucking what? Wow, new world builds. Probably like, cool visuals. I mean,
As per
I don't know,
usual.
dope. Yeah. I mean, dope. There's a headlining show.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Some vinyl.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, but shit that like, my fans have been looking forward to for a while. I think I've kind of been one of the guys that's like kind of just been always handing it on the grounds. I'm doing what I'm doing, though. It's like I'm playing it smart because, I want to be able to make things line up in a moment where it's, really all eyes is really like on me right now. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
not in a selfish or like I'm the only guy that's popping and shit. No, it's all of us. But like, you want to be smart with your timing, B.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was able to, kind of lift this thing off the floor without having to put out an album necessarily or take a whole, rollout that's got all these different things that maybe I hadn't shown people before. So I'm really excited for that. I think, I've been showing little snippets and teasers for a while, and I've created the ecosystem for it. So I'm just ready for everybody to feel how hot, you know what I mean? We coming, you know what I mean? And yeah, man,
It's time.
Drive Blind. Let's go.
Okay. Well, on behalf of Polymorph Magazine, we are excited for Driving Blind. Thank you very much,
Appreciate
Life
you.
of Tom.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're
And
here.
thank you, Academy
Be
Records.
myself. I don't even need to tell y'all that I be myself. 'Cause happy I don't even know who you are, son.
And cut.
I be out trying to get up on my head now, wait. I be down trying to get up with this bread now, wait.